Stop. Don't buy that Pix package or All Access. Wait, what? Yep, don't click Add to Cart until you check out our new deals page at both WagerTalk and Sports Memo, where you can find all the latest offers, promotions, and coupons available all in one place. These deals are updated daily and can be found by clicking Deals in the nav at WagerTalk or Sports Memo, going to wt.buzz/deals, or scanning the QR code on your screen.
Welcome into First Pitch for Thursday, May 19th. I am Drew Martin, joined by Dave Koken and Jimmy Adams of WagerTalk.com. We're breaking down 3 games on tonight's slate. Going around the horn here, Dave Koken, straight off of a 5% winner just last night. Easy winner for Dave Koken, 4-1 on the season, up over 80% with his 5% plays. Dave, happy Thursday morning to you, buddy. I know you're feeling good.
Yeah, actually 5-1 now. I don't have many of these. But when they come up, they're pretty much gold. I had the over in the Calgary-Edmonton game. So possibly the easiest 5% winner of my life. And, they scored, 16 goals or whatever it was. That was fun. We'll see what happens in baseball. And I have no packages for sale in baseball today because I didn't have a best bet. I do have a few smaller plays. And they're all in progress already, so I've got nothing to sell. But we'll talk about today's remaining games and see if we can guide you guys in the right direction to some extent.
Sure, we got 3 games on the slate. We'll get some insights here. We also got Jimmy Adams back from the IL, feeling a little bit better, going strong here. Jimmy, good to have you back, man. How you feeling?
Yeah, thanks, Drew. Feeling a lot better. Grinding out the baseball season here. It's been up and down. Just one play today that you'll get on the show here. And I am eyeing a few spots for tomorrow, possibly a 5%er, but not a lot going on today. We'll break down the games and get you some winners, like Dave said.
Hey, it pays to listen, guys. We'll get Jimmy's best bet here on the show. But first up, we're heading to Fenway Park. Seattle Mariners, Boston Red Sox. We get Kirby going for the Mariners here. From what I'm reading, Dave, this is a top talent coming out of the minors, a couple starts here in the majors, going up against Rich Hill. Surprisingly good, the lefty, the veteran lefty here going for the Red Sox, commanding a -120 price tag. So the Red Sox home favorites here, 8.5 the total. What are you liking in Boston tonight, Dave?
Yeah, Kirby came out of college as kind of a high floor, maybe low ceiling guy. A guy with really good command, but not possessing what looked to be lights out stuff. But since turning professional, his velocity's ticked way up. And, he was throwing like 93, 94 in school. And now he's getting up there close to triple digits. And he's become, I know everybody likes Gilbert, but this is the guy who might have the better arsenal. And I think might emerge as the future ace of the Seattle staff. Now, he's got to go through some learning curve issues. I don't think there's much question about that. But he's been good so far. His first performance was brilliant. Second one was at Yankee Stadium. Not quite as good, but I think that considering he's from there, probably had a lot of, a little more pressure situation. Rich Hill's been good, though. He's commanding his stuff really well. I don't know what to do with the game, and I'm not going to just make up something to give you an opinion. I just didn't have anything on this game to speak of. Hard hit rate's a little high on Kirby. I'm looking at my notes. I guess maybe I'd lean Hill, but there's 0% chance I'm betting anything on this game.
It is an interesting handicap here, Jimmy. To what Dave was alluding to, Kirby coming out the gates swinging. His major league career starting off strong. His numbers look good, but Seattle just 8-14 on the road. This is the last stop on a 3-city, 10-game road trip. And the Red Sox actually playing a little bit better baseball. If you look at the standings, they're at the bottom of the AL East, but they took 2 of 3 from Houston. They took 2 of 3 from the Rangers. So back-to-back series wins. I don't know, might be a buy low point, -120 with the home team. But I'm with Dave. Kind of a tough one sidewise. I like the total, which we'll get to in best bets, guys. But Jimmy, interested in your opinion here in Fenway tonight.
Yeah, so like you mentioned, they knock off Houston. I think they give the Astros their first series loss in over 2 weeks. Two teams that are kind of treading water, though. They've both kind of been underachievers to this point in the season, in my opinion. Uh, I am interested in George Kirby and how he pans out. I want to see him a little bit more. One earned run in 2 starts thus far, the velocity up, as Dave mentioned. So he's a guy that I'm interested in possibly backing in the future. The problem is it's not going to happen tonight because Rich Hill has been so good. Hill didn't allow an earned run over the course of 3 straight starts before giving up 2 earned runs in 6 innings of work in his last time out. So Hill pitching really well as well at, I believe he's 42 or something like that.
But what do you got? You got a problem with old people?
No. Of course not, Dave. But he's, turning back the clock a little bit and pitching well into his 40s. So I like to see that. The thing with Rich Hill is he generally doesn't throw deep into games. 4 innings pitched, 5 innings pitched. So I don't know what's going to happen when the bullpen gets in. I lean towards the under in this game, but it won't be a play for me personally. Just a lean.
Sure, good stuff there, Jimmy. And we will revisit this one for a little look on the total for best bets. We're at going from Fenway to Wrigley Field here is our main man, Chris Allen, going with the games here. Some 2 good stops in terms of ballparks, Jimmy. We get the Diamondbacks going with Zach Allen up against Marcus Stroman for the Cubs, minus $1.25 to minus 130. That's the Cubs as the home favorite. Total of 9. Interesting spot here. Kind of a intriguing handicap because I had Zach Allen circle his bet on. However, the Diamondbacks losing 6 straight. What are you thinking here in Wrigley tonight, Jimmy?
Yeah, so I preach all the time about how I like to bet on and against streaks in baseball, and that makes it impossible for me to play the Diamondbacks here. Arizona's lost 6 straight and 7 of 8. 2 teams kind of headed in opposite directions. The Cubs have won 4 of 5, 5 of 7. I love Zach Gallen, and I think if he's one of their, like Merrill Kelly, he's a guy you want to look to back when he's taking the mound. But the Diamondbacks just aren't in good current form as a team. The offense isn't lighting it up exactly. Gallen just pitched against the Cubs, I believe, in his last start, and he pitched well. But AZ blew a save opportunity, and they ended up losing the game 4-2. Marcus Stroman, this is going to be his first start since May 1st. He was on the COVID IL, and he's off a gem of a performance. It was a while back, but he didn't allow a run on just 2 hits and 7 innings of work versus the Brewers, like I said, back on May 1st. I like Stroman, and I think his numbers are going to get better as the season progresses. Backing what I preach here and betting on teams in better current form, I would lean towards the Cubs in this matchup tonight.
Okay, looking towards the home team. And Dave, coming to you next. You looking at anything here? Got anything circled in Wrigley tonight?
Well, the one thing I circled is the hard hit, the StatCast hard hit rate for Marcus Stroman, 53.2%. That is extraordinarily high. That means that more than half of the balls when there's contact have an exit velocity of over 95 miles an hour. And the Diamondbacks, while they're a bad offensive team, they can hit the ball out of the park. They swing for the fences. They're not a team that manufactures a lot of runs, but they can hit the ball out. And the wind, there's a breeze. It's not a wind at Wrigley here. And, when this ballpark, when there's a wind, you'll see it in the total. You'll see 10.5, 11, even higher sometimes. But the total on this game is bumped up a little bit because of the prevailing breeze, which is about 10 miles an hour out. So if that hard hit velocity percentage stays where it's supposed to, or stays where it's been for Stroman, would not be surprised if the Diamondbacks take him deep a couple of times in this game, even though he's a ground ball pitcher. Gallen has been outstanding for Arizona. But as Jimmy mentioned, the team's in lousy form. Your bullpen sucks. So, to me, the only way to play this would be Gallen first 5. A play on the starting pitcher edge with Gallen over Stroman. And I'm not doing that because I'm not getting the price. That's the ultimate determining factor. If you could give me a little more money on Gallen, if I got plus 115 or something like that, I'd probably take a shot. I'm not going to get that, and therefore I don't want it. So if you want an opinion that I'm not backing with money, not even monopoly money, I'll give you Gallen first 5. That's as far as I'll go.
And Dave, just a follow up to that on the Diamondbacks, because I know you had them pinpoint pretty good last year, and we saw them jump out, in terms of this season playing really good ball. But we've seen some kinks in the armor here. I'm asking because I'm kind of sweating out a season win total on the under for the Diamondbacks and seeing them lose 6 straight. I'm loving that. But interested in your opinion in how the Diamondbacks finish this season. You think they finish over that season win total?
I don't know. I didn't really. They were not a team I really considered. I thought the total was pretty good on them. I'll say this. Remember last year, Diamondbacks kind of did something similar to what they're doing right now. They got off to a pretty good start last year. I think they were like 15-13, and then they lost 73 in a row or something like that. They had a phenomenal, terribly long losing streak. I don't think they're going to match that losing streak, but they're doing the same thing essentially that they did last year, which was playing over their heads for a month and then returning to the form that everybody expected them to have. They're not very good, and the not very good is going to be that's going to stay there all year. This is just not a good lineup. The pitching has been surprisingly good so far. Gallen, I think, is legitimate. I'm not sure any of the other guys are. Merrill Kelly is okay, but the deeper you go in that rotation, you have to have doubts about whether they can maintain what they've done so far.
He's Dave Koch and WagerTalk.com. Give him a follow on Twitter at Dave Koch. And off of that 5% easy winner last night. Guys, he doesn't have many of them, but when he does, you want to check him out, WagerTalk.com. Also a great follow on Twitter, getting his looks there. Number 1 at WagerTalk.com in MLB, golf profits as well, college football. So a guy that really knows his stuff there. And obviously, as you can tell, breaking down the games on the diamond. We got one left here, Dave, coming back to you. Battle for Texas. Texas Rangers at the Houston Astros. Framber Valdez, the lefty, going for the Stros, commanding a huge price tag here, Dave. Minus 210. Up against Otto for the Rangers. Total of 8. The Rangers have won 4 straight, but going up against the Astros, that's a kind of tough task here. You liking anything in Houston tonight, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, the Astros look like a clear right side here. Framber Valdez just generating an extraordinary number of ground balls. I think it's like 73% ground ball rate, which is phenomenal. And he can strike out some guys, too. He's a really good pitcher. He's not the ace of the staff. That's Verlander. But Valdez is clearly their second best guy. Otto, there's some scary numbers here. The barrel rate is 13%. That's trouble against a team that can launch the ball into a ballpark that yields a lot of home runs. Now, here's the problem. The Astros were playing amazing baseball. But aside from that 5 home run outburst in 1 inning, which tied a record on Tuesday night, they've cooled off a little bit. And the Rangers, well, they're not a real good team. They're coming in with some steam. They've had 3. They just swept the Angels and came from behind in all 3 games to do so. So they're a team that's playing with some confidence right now. I don't like going against teams like that if there's a big price involved, and there's a very big price involved here. So while it looks easy to take the Astros, and I'm certainly not arguing against them as the likely right side of this game, I'm priced out of this one. I can't lay that kind of a number against the Texas team that's got a little mojo going for it right now.
Yeah, Jimmy, coming to you next. I mean, kind of the sentiment that Dave had there. I'm not really interested in laying the more than $2 here, especially Texas winning 4 straight. In an interesting spot, I like to go against. We get the Houston side, their first home game after a 9-game 3-city road trip with no off day. That's kind of a fade spot for me, man. If anything, I was looking to take the plus price here with the suddenly hot Rangers. I mean, Otto three starts ago, he had a pretty decent start against this Astros lineup. I know he got blown off last time, but interested in your thoughts here before I fire away on the Rangers, Jimmy. What are you thinking in Houston tonight?
Yeah, this will be my lone play today, and I'm going to run line the Astros. Coming off their first losing series in more than 2 weeks, as I mentioned earlier, but this team still won 13 of 16 after an 11-game winning streak. Tailed off a little bit against the Red Sox, but we have a bet-on pitcher against a fade guy, in my personal opinion. So we heard Dave mention how great Framber Valdez has been. He's off his longest outing of the season, 7.2 innings of work, 1 run, 6 Ks versus Washington. He hasn't allowed more than 3 earned runs in any of his last 4 starts, 2.93 ERA on the year. His FIP's pretty much in line with that. It's just a tick higher, but Valdez has phenomenal stuff. And then Glenn Otto, we saw his ERA balloon up after his last start where he allows 8 earned runs in 4 innings of work. His ERA against the Astros in his career is almost identical to that, obviously in a smaller sample size. Texas has won 4 in a row, and their offense is going to need to be kept in check by Valdez. I can see Otto getting really lit up again today. So give me the Astros run line, and that'll be my best bet for today as well.
All right, good stuff, Jimmy. And I guess if that's your best bet, just breaking it down, man. I got to have a follow-up. Is that a Arkansas Razorbacks hat on there, man? You getting ready for college football, or am I seeing that wrong?
Yeah, so this is the Razorbacks. I got this during March Madness, Drew, because so I went to University of Nevada, Reno, and so I'm a big Eric Musselman fan. So it's just kind of support out of him. I'm not from Arkansas or anything, but I love Muss. He came into University of Nevada and flipped the script, had them a top 10 team in 2 years after they were a 9-win team and an embarrassment under Coach Carter. So, tribute to him.
Yeah, by the way, we'll note they're heading back in that direction under Steve Alford. I didn't like that hire. I don't like coaches moving down the ladder. I never have. And it isn't going real well for the Wolfpack in basketball right now. And the football program could be a train wreck this year. They lost their coach. Carson Strong is no longer there. If you're looking for a team that could be in for a really rough 2022 college football season, I think it might be UNR. I would not be surprised, in fact, if UNLV is actually better than UNR this year, which is hard to believe.
No disagreement here.
Times in Reno right now.
Yeah.
It happens. There's ups and downs in the college athletics, guys. I guess could start off my best bet here. Seattle Mariners, Boston Red Sox. I'm going the under on the 8.5, guys. Kirby, we talked about it earlier in the show. Look at his numbers. I mean, 10 innings pitched in the major leagues, only 1 earned run. I know it's a short sample size, but coming up from the minor leagues, we talked about the tick up in velocity. I think he's going to have a good start here. And Rich Hill, hey, he's been good throughout his career, and he's been bad. We're getting good Rich Hill right now, like that recency handicap. And seeing the 8.5, 2 offenses, not exactly knocking it out of the park here when you look at their advanced metrics. 8.5, a good number here. Wind, not too bad, blowing out in Fenway. So going to take the under 8 in the hook. We get reduced juice -105 for my best bet. That's Seattle Mariners, Boston Red Sox under 8.5. -105. And throw it over to you, Dave. In recap here, any final thoughts for the show, and where are you going for best bets?
Well, all my baseball action, I didn't have anything big today. In fact, I should have posted some kind of a package, because when you come up with 5% winner, and there were a lot of buys on it, you're supposed to come up with something the next day because it's going to sell. But I didn't have anything. I had 3 smaller baseball plays. They're all underway. I got nothing tonight, so buy from somebody else. Best bet from the show, it's not a game I'm betting. It's a lean on the the Diamondbacks first 5 with Gallen. Sorry, guys. I wish I could come up with something strong for you, but I give out what I bet, and I'm not going to have any. I haven't finished my hockey yet, but if I have anything, it's going to be small, and I just couldn't come up with a baseball play tonight. among the limited options that are available. But hopefully tomorrow we'll have something good out there that we can sink our teeth into.
All right, check them out, guys. WagerTalk.com. Get you ready for the weekend here. We got best bet recap for tonight's action. Mariners, Red Sox under 8.5, minus 105 for me. We get Jimmy Adams, Astros, run line, minus 105. And Dave Koken, Diamondbacks, first 5, minus 105. So some reduced juice action for you on the Thursday night baseball slate. Check out Dave Koken, Jimmy Adams, extended packages, free plays up and available. And remember, guys, the free live odds screen, best live odds in the industry, wagertalk.com. For Dave, Jimmy, I am Drew. Thanks for tuning in. Please smash that like button. Guys, we'll see you tomorrow, Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern. Come back and join us. First pitch, wagertalk.com. Best of luck with your bets. Thanks for tuning in.
Old dogs are learning new tricks. Gold Sheet is the country's oldest sports betting newsletter dating back to 1957. And for the first time, they're offering MLB top selections at WagerTalk and Sports Memo. Gold Sheet began posting their iconic LTS plays at WagerTalk and Sports Memo in October 2021, producing 118 units of profit during this current basketball season and 69 units of profit last football season. Join Gold Sheet for their daily best bets on the diamond until the All-Star break for just $249. That's 9 weeks of detailed baseball analysis and best bets for under $30 a week. No coupon is needed. The price is already discounted, but act fast as the price goes back Sunday at midnight.